Bro, I don't think bullying works over there in Germany. I'm just saying. I feel like they're different. They're different blood. They bleed vodka and shit. I don't think that would work. I think Germans are like, bully. I got the pistol. Bully this.
I think you're thinking of the wrong country
I
here,
am
brother.
thinking of Russia.
I was like,
I'm thinking of Russia.
Just bring out a Borat accent? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no. Either way, even in that area, they're.
I heard vodka. Yeah, I was
aren't
like,
Ukraine and Russia? Aren't they still like at war? Like Germany's aren't they near them? I feel like that splashes over and people's like violence or like
guys,
hostility
read
levels
get
kicked up.
Anyway,
Like,
it's hot as balls.
it'd be hot as shit.
I was about to say, you literally have like so many things to just start it. Just go for it.
Anyway, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. It is hot as fuck. Excuse the ACs, excuse the fan noises, excuse whatever you may hear in the background.
My congested voice.
Because it's just fucking hot as shit and we're just trying to cope. But yeah, welcome back. What is this? Episode 55, I think.
Oh, I was gonna say 8 or 6. For some reason I thought there was like another like swirl.
No.
Another circle.
No.
Sorry. But hopefully my background fan or AC shouldn't be as loud as before. I can hear it in the last one. It wasn't terrible, but like, you know what I'm talking, but my AC's over there and it actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only thing you can hear now is like the fan.
I mean, we'll still hear. Anyway, but
Dude, I've been craving wings all day today. It's crazy.
What are you, Richard?
No.
Remember there was a time where Richard was like having like
only eating wings?
No, I wasn't
Yeah,
only
like-
eating wings, you fuck. I would order them, I would say probably like once a week, but I wasn't eating them all the time.
If
Yeah.
there's 2 people telling you it was more than once a week, it was more than once
You guys
a
are
week.
just exaggerative. We're all exaggerative in this fucking friend group. Act like we don't. Act like we're not.
We are.
Act like
We
we're
are.
not.
oh yeah, I don't know why you're getting all defensive. And
I'm not
loud
getting
and shit.
defensive.
part,
I'm getting
but, you know.
argumentative
That's
because
the
it's true.
same thing.
That's the same thing.
Whatever. You don't want to accept it. You don't want to accept it. But
Ooh,
anyway,
you know,
Oh my
different
God.
words combat the same thing.
Oh my God.
You know-
Anyways, welcome to the podcast, everybody. We're your 3 favorite idiots. Heard from a friend.
the 3 exaggerative people.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Claps, claps, claps.
And now we're gonna be sick, so we're gonna be even more sensitive.
Sick.
Oh no, I've had this like cough off
I
and
don't know
on
what's-
for a while. I don't know where mine just came out of nowhere. So
Same. I think it's just the in and out of the air conditioning that's fucking with me. I woke up
Possibly.
today feeling like shit.
That's fucking me over.
um,
All I have is just a shit ton of like congestion at this point, and it's like
yeah, my left nostril I can't like.
and I get
yeah, we all kind of have like operating ACs now to a certain extent that are actually like my car AC works. My parents' ACs all work now. My room AC's fine, and then we were at an Airbnb for the past like almost a week, basically. It was like 4 days, 5 days. Yeah. And we were blasting all the ACs. That motherfucker at night we were cold. We were like freezing. Some of us.
That's
That's why it was like,
hot a lot.
Jesus.
Airbnb.
No, you're just blasting them because you can.
Yeah, because you can. It's like, why not? You know, it's
Yeah.
not. We don't get charged extra for it, and it's like, let's do it. Shit.
So I do it in any Airbnb. I turn on the AC and the heaters or
Yeah.
hotel rooms.
Yeah,
So it burns out.
Like we don't gotta fucking pay for that electricity bill. Hell no. And if it gets all like gnarly, we just tell them. And if they're like, oh, it's not gonna work, I'm like, can we get another room? And then the answer is usually like, yeah, sure, why not? They have to accommodate. So
Yeah.
fuck it. That's never happened. It's never gotten to the point where I'm like, I burnt your equipment out, suckers.
Mhm.
I think my AC. I was staying at a Marriott like 2 months ago, and like I think it stayed. It like I left the AC on while I went out. I came back to shower because I was gonna go out at night, and I was like, hey, I was like, why aren't you on? So I turned it off, and when I came back, I was like, please. And I turned it on, and I was like, yes, it works.
Mm.
I slept naked.
With the, you know what? With the AC
Okay.
on under the covers, that's a pretty good night right there. You're right.
I just take off my socks. That's it. That's good. I'm not a whore like you guys.
Is that the
not
one
a
who was?
sinner.
You know what? Never mind.
We
That's
won't
a
even
call
talk
out.
about.
That's a
yeah.
call out, and I'm not gonna do it because never mind.
You know what? Do it, dude. He was calling you
I-
out being too.
I don't
being
even
extra.
know. I don't even
with
know what I
ordering
did.
wings.
The only thing I can think of is something that's very normal for someone that is single in my position. So I would assume that it might be something like that, but I have no idea if that's what it is.
No.
Then I have no idea what it
Anyway,
is.
whatever.
Not. I don't know. I was like, what?
I don't know. I can't pseudo defend myself, so I'm just gonna roll
Not
with.
shadow
it was-
periodically.
I'm just gonna roll with he's most likely right, and it's most likely not that like surprising for me. So
He doesn't shower.
Okay, I mean, if that's not.
That's a joke.
Ew.
Is that the crack pipe?
It doesn't work.
No way.
Oh,
Shut up.
wait.
I fucking plugged it in, and it just doesn't work.
Where did you buy that?
I bought it from the shop, but it was working just fine. I think it's because of the USB that I plugged it into. So I have like a desk outlet that I got from Amazon or whatever. And you plug it into a power strip or whatever, and then you clamp it onto your desk, and it's got USB ports and then like normal plugins. So I put like a USB cable, but this one's already kind of shitty as it is. Like it's just not the most reliable. Something that might have like kind of fucked it over. And then like the actual plug that I was using, I don't know, maybe it's just not that good. I don't know, but I need to get another cable so I can fully try it out. Because when I plug it in, it doesn't light up, but when I unplug it, it flashes. So I'm like, okay, it could just be dead. And the cable did nothing because it's a shitty plugin and the cable's shit.
Could be.
And it's just telling me like, oh, this is a fully dead battery and it's not getting juice. Or I like burnt it out and I'm out like $20 or 15. I forgot how much I spent.
That's not bad.
It's fine though. I got old reliable. Can't go wrong with some Mother Nature's oak.
Mother Nature.
And
All right. Anyway,
butane.
while you're getting high,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good thing for the first topic that I wanted to bring up. Get yourself in the right mind space because we're getting a little conspiracy again. Did you guys see the UFO thing that went down today with the
conversation?
Yeah, the
the
Senate hearing?
government. I didn't see it, but I had retweeted it on Threads
So
to remind myself.
retweet on Threads.
Hey, I'm on both, dude.
Repost. Anyway,
It's repost on Threads, right?
It's retweeting.
It's not a tweet.
dude.
Why don't they just like call it restitch or something like that, or stitching it?
Too close to
Because
that's
that's TikTok.
TikTok. Damn, I'm trying to think. Well, what's a good slang
Twitter's
for
changing name.
for thread?
Twitter's
X. So what? It's
now.
just gonna
It's
be.
so stupid.
It's just gonna be all like drugs things, and now it's like X. Zand. Oh my god, I just Zand that. What is it? You want to call it a tweet? What would you call them now?
They're
Wait,
called
it
X's.
took me a moment to like fucking figure out the joke you were saying. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, where did drugs come into this?
Oh,
I was like,
X.
drugs.
It's X.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, but I saw that tweet. It was just like people are trying to figure out what they're gonna call.
They're
like,
called
what
X's.
is- No, they're not.
Yeah, that's what Elon said.
That's stupid.
It's stupid,
That's-
but that's what he
Wait,
said
what's
that
called
they're gonna
X's?
call. Like instead of the
Tweets.
tweets, it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
you're,
they're gonna-
you're doing X's now.
So, that's so
Like-
weird.
Hmm.
I don't know, dude.
I feel like
it's
I'm-
dumb
I
as
still-
shit and cringy as shit. Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm still just gonna say tweets. I don't know.
Everyone
That's
is.
just I don't.
All these
Anyways.
changes since Biden.
So-
became-
Aliens.
Aliens.
oh yeah, was there
Um,
an actual press conference?
Yeah,
like
well,
public?
not press conferences. It's a Senate hearing. So it was three people. Two of them were pilots of fucking fighter wings and shit like that. And then one of them was like some informant that was like working with the FBI and shit. That basically he did a bunch of investigative work and he decided to kind of in a way be a whistleblower and
Cool.
just
I love
basically come out,
whistleblowers.
talk to the Senate. So I'm talking like, people like AOC and all these other fucking Congress people are out
Mhm.
are there listening to them. Mainly the third guy, that the informant, I forget his name. He went up and he's just like, yeah, there's proof and what's it called? It is true that the government has recovered UFOs. They call them UAPs, but UFO remnants, as well as he calls them, what does he call them? Like bi bio remnants in a way, I guess. Basically, he doesn't explicitly say human or alien, but he just says that there's remains. Oh no, he does say that they're not human, but he said like yeah, they have like what's it called, bio shit from those crashes and all this other stuff. So essentially, this guy's basically
Wait, what do you
saying,
mean bio shit?
so the person that asked, they basically asked like, did they recover
Alien
the
feces
pilot?
flying through the sky.
Did they say, did they recover the pilots that were flying these UFOs or whatever the fuck?
These
And
UAPs.
he didn't straight
Oh,
up
the
say.
ones. Sorry to cut you off. No, you're talking about the ones that are like crash landed onto us,
Yeah, I guess so.
like those. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like in space, like they
Oh,
found
no,
like
no.
fucking.
What's it called? And like that crash landing, you know, because they go to pick up the fucking ship or whatever. But she asked, do you also find or like the pilots, or like did you see the pilots, whatever? They're like, yeah, we recovered. He didn't say the pilots, but he just said like bio shit, you know. So without saying it, because apparently he could still get in a lot more trouble than I guess right now than he can.
It's just hinting shit out.
Yeah, but
He's finding ways to like be able to talk about it, but be elaborate enough to not get himself in trouble.
Yeah.
Even though eyes are gonna be on him.
oh yeah, dude, like
That dude's gone.
this whole thing was like, it's crazy because like they're asking him shit like, oh, are there people who like have gotten killed because they tried to talk about this shit? And he's like, in my thing, like in my observation, he's like, oh no, he straight up said like, I can't talk about that here in this meeting, but he kept saying like, any of that stuff I can hold on in a private meeting with you guys. Like he can't say it with cameras and shit, like
Yeah.
you know, to get out to the public, but he can tell the Congress people in a separate meeting. And it's just like, okay, so now what? So basically they had the other two, the other two people that were there were the pilots, and they're kind of known for their encounters. One of them was the one that like recorded, it looked like a tic tac on the video. I think, no, this was back in like 2004 or some shit. But anyway, it looked like a fucking tic tac that just like moved, and like you just fucking see it moving all weird and shit. And then the other one was just some guy that was like saying that they were, I think he was on a base or something, and that the UFO was on water, and then like they just saw it like hovering there for a while, but then it just like zipped up over some shit, and you expect to see like the water like kind of like, you know, moving, because you know something moves across the water or anything, it'll leave a, you know, a gust and waves and shit like that. Nothing. It was like absolutely nothing
silent.
there, and they're just like, yeah, basically what they were saying is like the government is hiding information about aliens, and what's it called, we believe that it is gotten to the point where it needs to start becoming public, because they think it is now a question of national defense. Basically saying like they think that aliens are gonna become a problem if they're not already, and we're probably gonna die.
Well,
I
it's
see
because
Thor.
I mean, yeah, he's sleeping.
Look at him.
He like, this should
He's
be
awake.
fake, bro.
What's up, Chunky?
Demon. Hey, what's
Thor!
up, fools? You ever seen Latina Yoshi before?
I hate
So you
you
just
so
imagine
much.
Steve, right?
I hate you so much.
I was like, did you just reference the TikTok one?
Yeah.
I hate that girl. Wasn't say. I mean that makes sense. Like we have been getting more and more footage as time goes. We have been getting a lot more stuff being not just shown but revealed to us as time has gone by.
Mm-hmm.
Like national security, like that they can come and like harm us. Maybe. I mean, or essentially now it's becoming a problem because it's so frequent. I could see that being a thing, just because now it's not just once in a while. Now it's like, now they're really. But the thing is, and this is just my speculation. Now that we're putting our little theory hats on,
Okay.
is the little aluminum
Aluminum hats.
like foil. Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like they've been a problem for like years.
Oh sure.
Till this day,
To
I
this
still
day.
reference.
Sorry.
To this day, I still reference that fucking movie in Alaska.
The movie in Alaska.
Fourth,
Yeah.
The fourth kind.
The fourth kind.
I don't know what quote you're talking about.
I don't.
No, I still reference that movie to it, like to the existence of like.
Got you.
Like it's one of, as much as it's a movie, there's a lot of like, a lot of the footage is actual. It's real, and they left a lot of like things unsaid, and the director got questioned later on about the film and like a bunch of shit. But like, it's like this person who was very successful in life is good with her mind and everything. You look at how she was and to what she became after those events of her children being abducted, and then the government basically taking over her is like in the sense of like taking care of her. Like she went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she went fucking insane. Like legally insane. Like she couldn't take care of herself
but
anymore.
you just think people are like, that's already happening? Like actually,
I feel like people
I
are
can
like, I feel like aliens have been an issue. It's just, you know, we probably have like been dealing with them, or at least the government's been dealing with them since way before our time, since shit that started showing up like on the news, or like since the fucking like the crashing in like was it the Oswald one? I'll say Roosevelt.
I thought you said Oswald, and I was like,
he did say
Oswald.
Oswald. Yeah, he said it again.
No, I was saying
Roswell.
The Roswell, yeah, the fucking the thing, it popped up in like their local news and shit, in their papers.
They called the
so it's
photographer
like,
crazy. That shit was funny.
I was gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
Richard, do you believe in aliens since you don't believe in ghosts? People see them almost the exact same.
They're stupid if they see them the exact same way.
Why?
Because aliens are
Do
a
you
lot
think
more
that-
credible. There's a lot more fucking evidence.
Wouldn't it be
to
the
support.
same?
No,
I
there's a
feel
lot
like
more
it's-
evidence to
it
support
can't be
that
the
aliens
same.
exist. It is not.
Almost.
It is not, because with ghosts,
Like mhm.
with ghosts, it's like some. Here's my thing: if ghosts really did exist,
Mhm.
they do.
why is it always the ones that are like back from the fucking like 1800s or some bullshit? What's it called? There's just no way.
I think the
to
argument
kind of,
for
prove
that one is because that was the darker time of human history, so there's a lot of negative energy, and that's why they linger.
Not only that, I think those lands, those specific points of land exist to those phenomenons because they hold the more darker energy of it. It could be that like, hey, someone's uncle died a year ago there, and he's probably there too, but all that gets fed to that sense source of energy, because that's how it basically comes. Like a lot of people's theory is like, if you don't pay attention to it, nothing happens, but if you start feeding into it, then that's when things start coming. Speaking of that, did you guys see the trailer of the new Exorcist movie? That shit looks good. I was like, they brought back the mom from the first movie, and a fucking really scary reference, because the original demon is the one in that movie, and I was like, ooh, I got tingles. It's 2 a.m. I was like, my tummy hurt now.
He said, "My toes are
Comes out in October,
exposed,"
and we're gonna watch that shit.
He was like
Watch
this
it.
blanket, and his little feet were out, and then he was like, "Huh."
Yeah.
it's
was
gonna
like,
get
You
me.
know, you
I
know,
was like, I peeked out and I was like, that's just a towel.
Anyway, I just don't think there's any enough credible evidence to believe in ghosts. Whereas aliens are a lot more plausible, and honestly is one of those things that has to be true. I think we talked about it before, the Fermi paradox.
I don't think it has to
It
be.
has
though.
to be. So
Why?
because
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on like when you think of an alien. I feel like some people think, or most people, 90% of people, I feel like basically think of like something that doesn't look human, or if it looks human, it's like green eyes or green skin or something.
Oh, the pale
that's, like,
gray,
extra-
big white eyes.
not
and
even
fat
that.
heads?
Just something that's like absolutely abnormal. Like, but like they could just look like humans, and they could just be like, you know, real fucking assholes and dropping shit on us because they can't drive.
Before, never mind. Before you answer that question, Rich, what do you think aliens look like?
they could look like anything, bro. Like that's the thing, is that they could look like us. They could look
Yeah.
like completely like from movies or some bullshit where the big black eyes and green skin, whatever.
Just
They can
Ninja
literally
Turtles?
just be microorganisms, like fucking think of, you know what a water bear is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
god, you know
no.
what would suck is if we had to deal with War hungry microscopic enemies. That would suck.
It's a possibility. I doubt
I
it,
know.
but it's a
Wait,
possibility.
so back to
That would
your
be
theory
shitty.
of why you think it should be real.
it has to
Oh.
be real because the
Yeah.
universe is so infinitely huge.
It's so big. It's technically never ending that the odds it's statistically is impossible for there not to be some other life out there.
right.
If you want to get down to the root of like math, and math is almost like the one constant in the universe that is all that like everything kind of revolves around to a certain extent. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, we made technically math, but it's always been there kind of thing.
So,
Kind of like
okay,
time.
We discovered math. We didn't invent it.
So okay, so
No, yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm glad this topic's of hand because this entire like last like 5-6 days, I fell into the rabbit hole of like the like just I've been watching this guy. I watched a podcast that was 3.5 hours long. This is how like I've been just sucked into it, and it was
power.
it was basically about like the Amazon rainforest and like
Yeah.
how there's certain areas like cultures, the untouched cultured people that exist, like the tribes. And someone pointed out, or it's like because it like referenced back to like anomalies and like strange anomalies, like how like they believe these things and like they coexist in this world to them, and to us, even though they look like us, we don't, for some reason society won't treat them like a people because they don't adjust to our like our norms
yeah.
or our technology and shit like that, right? So someone commented and someone said, and then the whole thread went through it, and I just kind of fell through the hole of that one. Was like, what if we're that like lost tribe people to aliens? Because nobody looks like us. There's only like we're the only living organism. Because if it's gonna get down to the root of science, we're the only living organism that looks like us. So to like animals, like what if like to animals, like obviously we look strange to them because we're primal. We're 2 hands, 2 feet, walk, talk our language, right? So the theory fell behind of like, okay, what if these people or these things come and see us that way? Because it's not necessarily that like we like, what if we're at the like end skirts of like, think of like the Amazon being like the galaxy, we're at the end of it. So people are like reaching these end areas of their lives now and coming to us and finding us, being like, what the fuck, what are these things? Like, who are you? You know? That's why I ask you, like, do you think they could look like us? Like, I genuinely don't. I think aliens don't look anything like us. I don't. Besides the movies and shit, I don't think they have They have technology to shapeshift. I think they have technology to like, to. No, not the fucking lizard.
I'm
people.
not thinking of that. Beaver.
Not like to like shapeshift into looking like us. I think they have very well stealth technology to hide themselves from the naked eye of us. Because technically aliens do exist. There are microorganisms in the galaxy. Oh, they discovered some sort of germ in like a planet, so that's considered like, you know, an alien. Like there's aliens on Mars, which is like very like small, like microscopic organisms or whatever the fuck that they've pulled. There's some shit that like that does exist off of these planets, like that they've searched or they've seen. I don't think they have hand to hand with it yet. Like they've brought it because it's during that exploration.
I'm pretty sure they haven't at all. That's the thing.
Because that would be considered an alien, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yes, I was gonna say I would think to like go through like the points. I would say that for people that are not touched by modern culture or society and stuff like that, you could make the argument that we're aliens to them. We could look the same, but for the most part, you know, we're pretty different culturally speaking, but pretty sure instinct wise it's almost the same, maybe a little bit harsher around the edges or sharper. But
Mhm.
as for aliens, are they, you said, do we think they look like us? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Do you
like
think,
what's your image? Not necessarily an image in your head, but like what do you think you believe they could or should or would look like?
well, I was looking because I remember I had this conversation a little bit back in the day with my friends because we were playing a lot of Mass Effect. It's nerdy, but we're nerds, and then conversations just like us will like bounce off because all of us raging ADHD people. But it basically brought up the topic. I remember in Mass Effect, there's these alien creatures two of them are constantly like arguing in the space station, and they look very not human. They look very alien. But for the most part, everybody else, every other alien on the station that you kind of interact with, for the most part, has 2 arms and 2 legs. And then maybe like different digits or different like little extra appendages. But for the most part, the general shape is humanoid. So remember I was talking to my friends and I was like, I don't understand why I forgot what I said. I think it was like something about these two and why aren't more species like that? And I was trying to look it up, but I think it was getting there. But basically, some scientists have kind of like, I guess, looked at the statistics or like kind of deduced that for the most part, universally speaking, or to as much as far as we know, having 2 arms and 2 legs is pretty efficient. And the way that we're designed and the way the locomotions work and the way like operating and things of that sort, there may be like an extra, like we could do with an extra leg or we could do with an extra arm or whatever. But for the most part, this is optimal. Like, you know, we've evolved because of this.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is like kind of like in our environment, peak evolution, because we like, I can't speak for all humans because some of us fucking suck. But this is pretty optimal. You could, you know, fine tune it and stuff like that. But for the most part, this is optimal. So some scientists have said that it's in the articles I was trying to read and trying to find the part where it might say it, but one from University of Oxford said aliens may be more like us than we think, and it's the appearance. And then from another magazine, it was why extraterrestrial life may not be entirely alien. And then they break down what a scientist and an evolutionist, I think that's what he was.
Evolutionist? Yeah, that sounds like something.
I could be wrong. I'm trying to. A zoologist. He was a zoologist. Oh. One of them was. But basically, it was evolution and how things broken down and how we adapted. So that's why, like, we don't really have lizard people or anything like hardcore like that because our environment doesn't. We don't need that. Yeah. Our bodies will adapt when needed because that's how life works. So I agree with that, but I also can see the point. And the aliens, also going back to that, was one of them was a like 4-legged, slow speaking alien, but for the most part, they've kind of negated the whole point of even having emotion. And the way that they talk is they'll talk normally, but to portray a tone, they say what tone they're giving in the first place. Agitated. Why would you do that? But like it's very monotone. Like they just kind of like give specifics because it's almost unnecessary. Like they evolve to the point where they don't see the point in emotion because in retrospect or in hindsight, you know, you don't really need emotion. You kind of just need to make the right choice, and having a clear mind free of emotion can be clearer or better in some settings. And then the other one, they evolve to the point where they don't even have like bodies. It's just a mind in a jelly, and they have like long tentacles and they just kind of float around like as if a jellyfish in water for the most part. So I could see almost both of those kind of working in my brain, because you would think like the mind is what really makes everything work. And if you can just kind of condense it all into one just really strong ball, why the fuck wouldn't you? You know? Like there's almost no point in all this. And if you've evolved to the point where you can kind of like have all the sensations, pleasures or whatever with just this, then what the fuck is all this? And it just sounds like this is almost, what's the word? It's dangerous. It's almost like unnecessary, but that's not the word either. It's basically unnecessary. It's unnecessary and unwelcome danger, basically. Like there's no point in having all this added like bullshit. So just condense it into one thing that you only have to really worry about and take care of. So I can see like, if I were to see an alien, them just being completely like that makes sense, or the other one, and then just kind of looking like us. If it's some like we got like praying mantis claws and like some long ass fucking tail with like some like weird like stubby like little baby dino legs or some shit, I'd be like, this does not make sense. Where the fuck do you live? What is? I have so many more questions now. What the fuck?
That's why I say they can look like anything, because we say that knowing what it takes to be an organism on Earth, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because this is the human body is like the perfect fucking peak of evolution for us here, because that's what this world kind of like requires from us. I mean,
It's
realistically, we're
perfect
not.
for the human experience.
Realistically, we're not, because if that were true, then we should also have gills and shit, because our Earth is more water than it is fucking land, right?
True that.
In my opinion. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, let's say in a world where there's just more gravity, so they would be like, you know, bigger legs, maybe 4 legs, because they need more strength to support
More
themselves.
strength to carry
You know,
themselves.
shit
up.
like that.
Mhm.
All of this shit. They could look like anything, but that's what I'm saying is that, like, with the infinite amount of possibilities that exist out there in the world, like how big it is, like mind-numbingly
It could be
huge.
anything.
Anything. They have to exist, and they can look like absolutely anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
So
True that.
yes, aliens are real, in my opinion, and for sure.
See, okay, so
But,
so my
but you don't
so my
have
argu-
actual proof of it.
So
though.
my argument to go back to that is to say that whatever evidence I think that people have found for aliens, I feel like there is more, but I feel like the quantity of proof shouldn't negate like the possibility of it being real. Like, just because there's been like more alien sightings than there is ghosts, which I feel like there might be even more ghost sightings or like
Yeah.
experiences than aliens, possibly. But I'm just like kind of giving the alien thing more credit because they've had like experts and stuff like
I
that.
think you
and
mean
people
more
with-
documented.
well, documented, yeah. That's what I mean. But like, I feel like with that, they have more credible sources, like, you know, fighter pilots, fucking what the
Well-
dude that just came out and said whatever he said.
We got Zach Baggins.
Is it?
Yeah,
so
Zach Baggins.
I think that's the
Yeah.
thing that's also kind of like really not helped with the whole ghost friends, because there is stuff like that. It's like there's
Entertainment.
ghost shows and there's just really campy shit. Then you get people like Zach Baggins, and then you get like movies that are at at the core of it all fake, and then that kind of like just lets people kind of connect fake ghosts movie, ghosts fake, ghosts
So-
fake ghosts are fake.
Without going so far to topic, Richard, do you believe that like exorcisms exist?
No,
I feel like that's
They're,
the same thing.
they're
Yeah.
documented.
I believe that the human mind can come up with a lot of crazy shit.
Oh,
But
that's weird. Okay, no, that's weird. So what do you like? How do you? I've never seen a real like a real recording of like one of them speaking Latin. I'd have to
I
watch
have.
that, honestly.
I have, and they're so fucking disturbing. Like I had to watch it for my witchcraft class, and it's like one of the more it's authentic as fuck. Like video footage of someone like being exorcised and like shit happening and like things happening to the human body that shouldn't be occurring or should happen. The change of the multiple change of voices and stuff like that, things like that. But these are actual documented things that are kept on record, on file. And even the Vatican has come out and said like, yes, this does exist. Yes, these things do happen. Like, so how is that not creditable compared to somebody recording on the fucking iPhone 2 of a spacecraft flying through, or not even going to the exaggerated part, but a Navy base recording it with their night vision lens for missiles that they use to keep eye on all that shit, recording some sort of object flying by them, or a pilot flying, seeing something like that. When there's like live footage of people like living and existing in this thing, like why is that out of your spectrum compared to like an alien?
I'm just gonna say, just because I'm gonna guess, and I'm assuming is it because it just boils down to like you not believing in like being religious or whatever, like not believing in like a possible higher power or like afterlife or anything like that. I feel like it kind
I
of
mean, partly.
boils down to that kind. I feel like that's the core
Yeah.
of it, in my
Well,
opinion.
Partly.
I mean,
yeah,
it
mainly.
really doesn't have to do anything of that though, because it's been recorded in like so many different religions that some aren't even considered to some people religions. So
Well, it's because it kind of like, not to cut you off because you're gonna say something, Richard, but
You're fine.
to say it's I think with that it kind of implies that there's something more after death, and in Richard's core belief is that there's nothing after death, absolutely nothing. You die, that's it.
Mhm.
So these ghosts and demons are so technically supposed to be something in the afterlife. So that's implying that there is an afterlife, but that's not what Richard believes in. So I'm assuming Richard's just core reasoning for not believing in ghosts at all, even with like documentations or recordings or whatever, it just boils down to, I just don't believe that there's anything after we die. So where the fuck are these things coming from? And then it just kind of boils down to, I don't really care enough to like
Mm-mm.
want to believe or dive in that deep. So fuck it. And I mean, it's like, that's fair.
I need to find out like what you believe and don't believe in. Not necessarily ghosts and aliens, but like, do you believe mermaids exist?
No.
Why? There's a big. I mean, do you think that there's something or someone that's
I don't even know if I
enough to,
believe
like,
in mermaids.
to, like not mermaids, but like all those like urban legends that exist,
sirens,
of,
like back in the
like
day,
sirens,
right?
yeah,
Yes, I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Oh,
Like, you know, like the ones
think
that
that
back in the
exists?
day that sailors would like, you know, get lulled into and they
Yeah.
fucking die and shit
I'm
like
like-
that. No,
I'm like
Pirates and shit.
mad nerdy, but
But-
like this puts me
but-
in like a geeky space.
But
But
wouldn't
like,
that fall under the same spectrum of space as we know more about space than we know about our own water?
yeah,
Because there's
and
so
we,
much
and
like
we know why. And I okay, hold on. So as far as like the ghost and all that shit, yes, you're right, because for the most part, I've said it countless times, I'm atheist. I don't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe in an afterworld. That just seems ridiculous to me. And yes, acknowledging that an exorcist like that and things like that would imply that exists. But on top of that, I just feel like for the most part, when these exorcisms happen, it happens to people who are just happen to be hyper religious, or people who have been brought up into this space where the minute they feel something wrong, whether it's with their psyche or, you know, some type of mental health issue, they start being bombarded with these religious views, and then they start deflecting all of that shit into that, or like hyperfixating, if you want to call it that, to the point where they have to act the part, because it's either that or they're fucking insane, you know.
So what about children?
And then children is like the same thing. What's it called? Instill this thing into them. Remember?
No, but children, as in like children from like the age of like they understand. They don't necessarily understand, but they're going through something that like is being changed into like an adult form thing that, like you mentioned, like people can be like mind tricked into this thing, or like have this mind, like basically you're saying they're playing a part that they've instilled in
children
their brain that
isn't
exists.
like what age? Because if you're gonna tell me that a toddler's being exercised and they just start fucking, you know, having a deep man's voice type of shit.
But
No.
we'll say because one of the footage I saw, the little girl was like
Girl was like
fucking
9-10 years old.
No,
right?
she was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And a grown man's voice came out of her.
That didn't happen. I've heard I know which tape you're talking about too, because I've looked into it and shit like that. And yes, she has like this very guttural like sound to her. You fucking newsflash, you know, girls can have a guttural voice to them. Like, you know, some female, for example, metal singers can have that like fucking grunt. That sound that just sounds like.
But you're going back to like adults.
No, but hold on. That's possible, is what I'm saying, because women's voices don't change as drastically as men. Anyway, my whole point is that they can do that. I know that girl, like I said, was brought up in a religious household, was brought up under religious views, and the minute that she felt something was wrong, she just kind of, in my opinion, because it's never got out about her, she just fucking decided, okay, something's taking over me, there's a demon in me. And especially when you have a shit ton of priests, family that's telling you over and over again there's something inside of you, you have to go along with it, and eventually your mind is just gonna fucking degrade fast enough to the point where you start believing it and, you know, fucking playing the part. I don't know.
I feel like the only way to prove if Rich's theory is correct is if somebody were to, like, it'd be fucked up. It depends on who does it. I don't think it should never happen because it's pretty fucked up. But the only way to do it is if something like a possession is possibly happening, you tell the kid you're fine, nothing's going wrong. And if it continues, then Richard's argument falls through.
No, because
if it does the exact same thing.
Because I think that for the most part, these exorcisms and shit, like, you know, credit to the church and the Vatican, because, you know, they used to do it a lot more than they do now. You know, you actually send them to fucking therapy, or like some type of way to make sure it's not all just mental first.
They still do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays they do. Back in the day, they didn't fucking do. They didn't know it.
Back then, they would just hit you with water of Aquafina.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's nowadays, and by nowadays I mean like probably starting around the 70s, 80s, maybe, once mental health has actually started been looking at. I mean, lobotomies aren't even that old, And
They're not.
that was a thing that was being treated for people who were going through like who either had dementia, fucking
Yeah.
schizophrenics, things like this that we're now starting to understand a lot better. All I'm saying is that I just think that the human mind is capable of creating a lot of things in your psyche, and if you're, especially like back in the day, you're being told that, oh, it's because a demon is there or something's trying to take over you, you're gonna believe it. But then, as far as like why aliens, I believe more in aliens than ghosts, and then also like why we haven't searched Earth or like the oceans as much and shit like that. The reason we haven't searched the oceans as much is because of the fucking pressure. Look at the fucking Titanic shit that just happened. They went down there, they fucking immediately died. And other things that have tried to go down there, they can only last like very short time because the pressure is just that fucking insane. And then along with getting oxygen all the way down there, so it's just insanely hard, like much more hard to like explore the entire bottom of the ocean. Whereas going into space where there isn't pressure, all you really have to account for is for solar rays.
Mechanical things not failing.
You can send out a fucking telescopes like we have, fucking drones and all this shit that look far into the fucking universe, because light is traveling towards us anyway. It's like it's just a lot easier to do. But
on the side note, did you guys see the two galaxies colliding into each other and it looks like a heart? That's just really cute. Sorry, continue.
I wouldn't say easy, but I know what you mean.
But for the same reason, like we've seen space or whatever, we see the entire galaxy. We haven't looked into each of those individual planets because, again, pressure. A lot of those fucking planets have a shit ton more pressure than we do, than Earth does. Acidity, all these other fucking unaccounted for things that just make it hard to actually dive into each of those individual planets. But either way, mathematically and just statistically, it has to be a thing. And
that's interesting.
There's like the paradox that I talked about the other time. The Fermi paradox is saying that like if it's so credible / probable that there are aliens, where are they? How come we haven't found them? And there's like two reasons. It's either one, we just they don't want to be found. Two, maybe we really are the only organisms out there. Or three, this is I forget what the fuck it's called, but there's like this like gate or whatever, this like fence in evolution type of thing, where it's just like you have to reach that point to get to where humans are right now, to the point where you're starting to understand and explore the universe, and not
that like gap.
And not every like civilization, organism, whatever, has passed it just yet, maybe at all. If not, maybe we're the first one of our kind that's ever actually done it. Maybe we're the first organisms that have actually made it this far enough to start thinking about intergalactic travel type of shit. It's getting nerdy. It's like a lot more nerdy than it should. But all I'm saying is,
it's just the intro to Stargate.
Literally, all I'm saying is that it's just more probable, and I believe the science a lot more than I do just the human mind, just kind of seeing things.
I saw this theory once saying that maybe we are the only ones that exist in this galaxy, and that's why we can't find others, because by now maybe we could have found some sort of clue or some sort of proof or something that would lead us the right direction of saying a solid 100% this does exist, not just having someone word of mouth say it exists or they've seen or they've been through these things. It was a theory of like, what if this civilization has passed that part, like you mentioned, and it can basically like Stargate, travel through different galaxies, and that's why we can't find them in ours, because we are the only ones in our galaxy, and in our surrounding planets and stars, we are the only ones that exist here, because there's nothing on other planets. There's no trail of nothing that exists or could have existed or have the probability of existing in the future. So it's like, what if these things did come from like, and I say things because we can't say humans or like whatever it is, because we don't know what it is. Like they come and they stay, they're from a whole different like galaxy or from a whole different timeline because of how light travels.
Yup.
So things like that. So I know what you mean. I just still can't get around the whole like, I guess.
Oh,
Around the whole
well,
what?
I was gonna say that Venus apparently actually had a livable ecosystem back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
At
it's
one
a little
point,
that is-
yeah,
yeah.
but then it had its own version of global warming. It had
Global
its
warming.
own like So the only reason why I know that is because of the song by Mitski Nobody. Venus, planet of love, was destroyed by global warming. Did his people want too much too? His people want too much too. It's a good song. That's also really good. Really
What
good.
the fuck?
Facts.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Yeah,
it's called our sister
true.
planet for a reason. Yeah.
yeah. So
We're just-
at some point,
what if we're
at some point, there was possible life capabilities in our galaxy, in our orbit.
There was stability.
It was there, so there could have been something living there. What? We don't know. We weren't around to like figure it out, and whatever was on there most likely fried out. So
what if Noah's Ark was a spaceship and we all came onto Earth? We were originally on Venus. You never know.
you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. We'll never know. You know why? Because religion
Yep.
fucks up history.
Religion's dumb.
I don't think that had anything to do with anything. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. No, nothing.
I kind of meant it. I'll be honest, I kind of
Oh my
meant it. You
God.
guys know history kind of fucked up history a little bit. There's gaps that shouldn't be there. There's like religion erasers that happened, or the possible extinction of religions because of like Eastern or Western religions. So I say Eastern as in European, just to clarify. But yeah,
Yeah.
humans suck.
Intro.
But
Yes.
it would be interesting. I was trying to think of like what I was gonna say also, but yeah, I could see Rich's reasoning for like that. That's why I was like, I totally get people that say, "Oh, I believe in aliens, but I don't believe in ghosts." Like, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get that
Mhm.
because I believe in ghosts, but not as much as I believe in aliens. And even then, with this whole UFO thing, to kind of circle it back to like
The story.
the whole point.
Right.
I don't know. Do we like? I don't like.
See, that's the thing. I saw it also is just like, this is like big, right? Because it was like, oh, they're proving that UFOs are real, that aliens are real, and it's just like, see, but this is just another
see,
thing that they didn't bring out anything like
No,
concrete,
that's what I,
and
that's what I
then
was
this
gonna
is just
say
gonna get
is-
swept under the rug again because it's just like, okay, well, we still haven't seen anything.
That's what I was gonna say. Also, there was like a God, I had it on here, but basically UAP means fucking unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
So that's what it means. And also for the guy, he said at that point, like near the end of the hearing,
Mhm.
we have not seen anything, and we're still very early on. So early on, that would lead us to believe that any objects that we have seen are from an alien origin. So they have seen things, but nobody, and they do have things, but they wouldn't even say that it's from an alien. I mean, again, guess that could just be like the government jargon, just to like not have everybody whatever.
Well, I don't
I mean,
no,
honestly, at this point, do we care?
That's
The
kind
world's
of-
because he's
Like-
not trying to like not say it so that the public doesn't freak out. It's because he doesn't
legal
want to.
reasons.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get in trouble and
Yeah.
honestly possibly just get fucking murked because that's a
Also-
very possibility.
I don't
That's
know.
the same island that Tupac saw.
I was gonna say either way. I don't know. Do you really believe that if you're gonna whistleblow against the government, that you're gonna actually live
No.
all the way? No, I don't
know,
either.
dude. I think there's too many loopholes in the
I've-
government system that
in
can
my-
probably,
No.
In my personal opinion, if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta
Go
accept
out
that
with
that's
a
gonna
bang,
happen,
bro.
and then you do the whole thing. Like you really think you're gonna be fine, and if the worry is, well, what about the other people in my life? Then you should have shut the fuck up in the first place. Why are you even saying anything? You're dumb. That's gonna happen to them either way. If you even say the wrong thing, and you even saying
Conspiracy
anything
theorists
is
are
almost the
crazy.
wrong thing.
I
don't know, it
mean,
doesn't make
he's
any
right
sense.
though.
I mean, it's not even conspiracy. It just kind of boils down to like everyday life shit. Like, oh, I can't say this thing, but I'm gonna talk around it and help you figure it out. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like you're just as much of a fault. Like that's That's as much your fault for that being out there now. So you might as well just say the whole fucking thing, because so we can save ourselves some time, and we can start, I don't know, buying water again at surplus.
Man. I feel like
I don't
you
know.
know, you want to be big brain.
I don't think 3 months of toilet paper is gonna save you from
No,
aliens.
what you do,
You know
big
what?
brain.
But security blanket.
Big brain. You say everything, and then you name all of your family and your loved ones. You say like, if anything happens to us, you know who fucking did it. And then it's just that, like, at that point, it's like, I don't know. Personally, I think if you're the government, you make sure nothing fucking happens to them. So that
That's
way
true.
they think that, everyone's just like, oh no, they were just some crazy fucking family or whatever. the fuck.
We are on a list right now. Listen.
Hi,
I
Obama.
know whoever you are that is now watching or listening to me or us. I apologize for everything you're gonna read that I'm gonna be sending to people for the rest of my life or
Did you
have
guys
sent.
see-
I
did you
apologize
guys
for
see that the
every
chef,
single thing
Obama's
you're gonna
chef
hear me
died?
say. I think so.
Yeah, I think
Isn't it?
I told Lee about
He like
the yesterday-
drowned,
or
like
Monday. I mean.
not
Yeah,
like in the same house or whatever.
in the fuck, where was
Oh
it?
yeah, you did
in
tell
the,
me this.
in the pool.
No, it was at fuck me. I forget exactly where it was, but yeah, it was Obama's like the family chef or some shit like that.
The Obamas are sacrificing their yearly worker that's a good person to keep their youth and their social power.
What do you mean? Obama doesn't look young at all.
I mean, he looks better than he did when he was president.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean that's also a shit ton of stress.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
welcome to my point.
Yeah.
Population
Biden is, like,
us.
stumbling everywhere.
Biden,
So, yeah.
Biden's an out of date robot.
Okay.
While we're on politics,
Conspiracies. Oh
no politics. Somewhat. We're not a politics podcast whatsoever, by the way.
no, but we have very strong opinions. So if you want to know, ask us directly.
Yeah, and along with that, we'll call out bullshit when we see it. So I just really, this is kind of controversial, but at least in my opinion, we should bring back bullying.
Oh.
Only because this doesn't have to do with the American government. This has to do with Germany. I don't know if you guys saw.
I thought we were done with the whole controversial topic.
This isn't really controversial.
that could get us canceled.
I'm
Germany
dying on this hill now.
apparently
doubling
is
down.
having an uprising of far right, basically neo Nazis, and yeah,
Okay.
they're kind of
I mean,
scary.
are you really surprised?
Wait,
A little bit, yeah. In their country, in their
country.
government.
In their government. Okay, I understand.
I'm not really
But why-
surprised that
okay, so
neo-Nazis
wait.
exist.
Why
They've
does that
been.
boil down to like bullying?
Hold on. So what's it called? I mentioned the bullying thing because it's like the story that I saw
Nuke
was
'em.
that these two teachers like saw these kids basically doing like Nazi salutes to each other and doing all this other shit. I forget exactly what, like basically like saying slurs and all
Hell,
this other
comrade.
bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying bring back bullying because I was like, bro, just bully those kids. Like, I don't know. I feel like you should be
I
able to bully
understand.
I don't
kids.
think-
I
I don't think you
understand
wanna-
now.
I don't think you want to like.
Yeah, I don't think you want to bully
iron-
the
I don't
neo-Nazi
think you-
white
what
kid.
is it?
I'll bully
Yeah, you
them.
don't want to iron the. Add fire to that shit. What is it
You
called?
don't want to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, because at that point it's like I don't think that really
Okay,
has.
but anyway.
I don't think that that should be concluded with bullying.
Hold on. So anyway, what's
It
it
was a
called?
joke, you guys.
The kids or the
Don't
kids,
bully
the
yourself.
teachers decided to
Bully yourself.
okay. The teachers decided to basically like I think like call them out and shit like that, and just kind of like try to have like warn the parents, like telling them like, hey, like you need to stop this, blah blah blah. They got mad at
Yeah.
the teachers.
Yeah,
What's it called?
Said mind your business.
Essentially. So
that's so stupid. Why would you do that as you're a fucking idiot?
whatever.
Well, I mean,
Nah, fuck that. What?
As a teacher, you're liable to your students.
I don't give a fuck
if-
about that. You fucking get down to the root and try to get rid of these people. That's
No,
my
wait,
opinion.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh
asshole.
no, I agree. I
So
think
then-
that they're an issue in the schooling. My issue is like, why would you go to a parent that clearly like this
No,
problem
no,
was
no.
happening?
Because they're minors, and that's
What
the
I
only way to do
what
it.
I
You
meant is like the
can't
parents
do
in
anything.
general, not like those specific parents of the.
Well, parents are mad in
Okay,
general
whatever. Uh-huh.
at like the fact that the school has an issue with them being neo-Nazis. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's parents nowadays. Nobody wants to be told your kid can't be who they want to be, even
Or
if
your
that's
kid
gonna
can't
be
say
a
what he wants
fucking
to say.
racist neo-Nazi. Yeah, people don't like that shit. So that's
Yeah.
idiotic. Why? God, fuck it being illegal. Why didn't they just wait for those kids to do something like borderline that breaks the rules and just kick them out? That's so stupid. That's what I
It
would
is
have
though.
done.
It is.
Yeah.
No. In Germany, I think it is illegal to.
Yeah, but we're not in
to
Germany.
claim-
But I'm
to claim
the
that
kids are
that
in
is-
Germany, dude.
Oh wait, I thought you were saying it was over here.
No,
it's
That's
in
why you mentioned
Germany.
Bullying.
No.
Oh, bro, I don't think
He's saying-
bullying works over there in Germany. I'm just saying. I feel like they're different. They're different blood. They fucking bleed vodka and shit. I don't think that would work.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
what's it called?
I think
Yeah, so
Germans are
anyway-
like, bully. I got the pistol. Bully this.
I think you're thinking of the wrong country
I
here,
am
brother.
thinking of Russia.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm thinking
did
of
you just
Russia.
bring out a Borat accent? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no. Either way, even in that area, they're
I heard
aren't-
vodka. Yeah, I was
Aren't
like, wait.
Ukraine and Russia? Aren't they still like at war? Like
Yes,
Germany isn't? Aren't they near them? I feel
Germany-
like that splashes over and people's like violence or like
Guys,
hostility
read
levels
a
get
geography book.
kicked up.
Anyway,
Jokes
Yeah, but
valid.
I really don't think that bullying works, and I feel like it hits harder here in America because I'm gonna be honest, as someone that is also like of the softer side, people here are very soft. We're very soft people in the world, and we take a lot to heart.
That's
So
a
I
universal
think-
thing. That's not just us. That's just
I don't
people.
think I don't
that's just
think
people
so
as a whole.
because when you look at like how society reacts to like nudity in the European states, they don't really give a shit. They show titties and everything like that on commercials for even during kids are being home, and that's about it. That's just normal.
that has
here,
nothing to do
over
with
there.
being
And
soft.
then,
Though. That's just
no,
politics.
it is. That is being soft because over here it's seen as sexualized, indecent, and inappropriate. When over
but
there,
all that
it's-
falls under politics.
no, it doesn't fall under politics.
It's
It falls over
what?
like self
that's ethics.
your morals. That's ethics exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but ethics fall under politics in our country because that's why people can't agree to disagree or agree to agree, that they think what they do is wrong because we don't do it. And people out there think what we do is wrong because we're suppressing. It's the same thing. It falls under the exact same. It's the same dick touching the same dick, no matter the way you see it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like, it's like you're putting your dick in a mirror, and then the mirror's pointing it back at you. It's
well,
the
that's the
exact
whole
same
point.
thing.
So I don't know how that contradicts me saying that Americans are soft because we have an issue with every other. That's the whole point in America. You have an issue, you can verbalize it, and then everybody can kind of just have that dick touching contest of like, no, my viewpoint's right. No, my viewpoint's right. So that's why I think bullying works here. I'm just saying, like, it has effect here. I feel like more than it would in foreign countries, I would assume. I'm guessing, but yeah,
I guess I'm
'cause
just
I don't know if they
I'm
have
saying
other
that
things to really worry about.
because I have been to like I can't even say I've been around the world. I've been to a certain part of the world where like people don't have U.S. politics or aren't American, and they're just as soft as everyone out here, except they're poor, but they're still soft.
I feel like that's different soft. We're socially soft. I feel like that's like real world soft. Like you've had a really shitty time because you're in a very unfortunate
Rural
situation.
area, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to be soft because your life genuinely sucks. Our kids are soft over here because like, I'm going to sound like such a boomer. A fucking little kid loses their iPad for 10 minutes and this kid's about to go postal and grab the family gun. Like we hear about that all the time when it comes to a kid that loses access to his Halo, to his Xbox back in the day. Like you hear those horror stories all the time.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Kids here are a different breed than I feel like other countries for different reasons. Yes, they may react the same, but for very different things.
I would just say, I guess what I was just trying to say is as a generation of people are very soft because you can't tell them shit anymore. And that's just a global scale thing is people uproar and then get fucking mad or get sad or cry all together about either something else, or if it doesn't involve us, we don't care. It doesn't involve them. They don't care. So it's like as a general concept, as like our generation of people are soft. Like just in general, people are soft. I think I just think that like I know what you're trying to say.
No,
I think that just comes with upbringings. Like people's upbringings are very different.
So Richard believes in bullying is
I
the
do.
overall thing you guys that we're taking
I
from
do.
here.
Oh, you can take that. But anyway, no. The
Don't bully
whole
kids, guys.
fucking point was that like
Unless they're racist piece of shit.
Bully
neo-Nazis, then
racist. Bully.
honestly, punch your local
punch,
Nazi.
punch a
I
Nazi.
don't-
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you feel you're in danger, report
But anyway,
it.
You
these-
feel you're in danger.
Don't take it out of your hand. Jesus.
Shut up. All right. Anyway, the
Christ.
fucking what's it called? The kids were fucking doing neo-Nazi bullshit. Whatever. The teachers tried to, go to the
Do the
school
right
board.
thing.
Blah blah blah. They got shunned, and basically, my whole point is that it's insanely illegal, or maybe not insanely, but it's like illegal and taboo to basically like
Yeah,
you
there's a
know,
law.
to talk about Nazism like that because obvious reasons.
Yeah.
What's it called? But the school completely ignored it. Everybody kind of basically ignored it, and apparently there's a fucking what's it called?
lawsuit now.
No. What
Hmm.
fucking lawsuit? There.
People are coming out
Hold
as
on,
neo-Nazis.
no, fucking what's it called? The far right party that's of Germany, which is basically holds neo-Nazi kind of views in a sense, is actually coming up in power right now. Like right now,
How funny.
they're actually coming up in certain parts of Germany, and they're actually like starting to get positions of power in their fucking government. So all I'm saying is,
That's pretty scary.
if you're German for whatever the fuck reason, if you happen to know somebody
you
that's
watch
German,
us.
no, hold on. If you happen to know somebody that's German, or somehow fucking just make sure that you can do your own little part. Just fucking bully Nazis, bro. They make sure they don't come back from whatever.
Make a
cesspool
Nazi
they
second
were.
guess becoming a Nazi. Basically,
Yes.
is what he's saying, and I can agree with that.
I won't condone violence acts, but I
No,
guess I can
Nazis.
agree with you.
Anyway,
Oh,
yes, agree with it.
okay. Okay.
I'm not saying you do it personally, but somehow get it to the point where they fucking disappear off the earth.
I feel
Oh,
like it's okay to say that because the Nazis don't hold good viewpoints like at all, right? There's nothing redeeming of a Nazi, right?
They're white
They just-
nationalists. They
right, yeah, they're
believe-
white nationalists. They only
no, I
believe
know what
in
you're
like
saying. I know what you're saying, but
what's it, Angelism and Angelos when it's just the white face, blue eyes, and blonde hair.
Yeah,
I guess for internet-based reasons, we can't go off and tell people, "Hey, you should do this." This kind of
Oh, so we're not held liable for it.
no,
Okay.
just a general thing is you don't go around telling people, "Hey, you should do this." Like,
So liability wise, Steve and I are not saying that. Neither is the podcast. Individually, though, Richard's saying,
should Nazis.
"Thank you for watching. Here's from a friend, you guys." We're now going to be entering the recommendation portion
it was
of the
nice
podcast.
on this podcast, so we had it.
First, we're going to have Steve go. Steve, go ahead. Recommendations and or final regards,
Recommendations.
if you have any.
Yeah, there's a house. You feel like I don't? Are you assuming shit?
No,
You
I
wanna
said
get bullied?
I said I know you don't sometimes, so it's up to you if you want to.
No, lately I haven't. I did come across a song called "La Vida" by I don't
Vida
know how to
Loca?
pronounce it.
Coldplay?
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus, white nationalist over there.
why am I the one that recommends the Ricky Martin song?
Because you're zesty.
We hung out for a couple days. I think it
Oh,
rubbed off.
shit.
Y'all rubbed each other? Like
Yeah.
rubbed them off?
No,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you
I guess
got
we're
rubbed
saying
off?
no.
no,
Never
I
mind.
hate you.
By
We're through a stressful situation. I'll say that.
I don't know how to pronounce this. It's
don't know which one.
HOJ.
Oh, I know which one now.
I
What?
Wait,
Sorry.
sorry, yeah.
HOJJ.
J no HOJII.
Oh, I see. La Vida?
Yeah, it's a house song, but it is a twist to house music.
French producer. It's French House? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Spanish, like Italian
is.
Spanish. A French producer. I live in a small town in France and arrived on the network to share my music and make people dance. My goal is to perform in as many places as possible so that I can thrill the whole world. Nice.
Huh.
That is from
Got a little,
Yeah, I
a
can
little,
see
little
it.
sauce mix into it.
I could
This
see
is
like
cool.
some movie playing this for like a
I'd
Neo.
like to.
for like
I can see us
a
going to a club and dancing to this. It sounds like fun. I'd
Yeah.
like to dance to this at like a club or
I
whatever.
see a movie using this for like as a future Mexico, like You know, like a
I see-
cyberpunk
Yeah,
Mexico.
like
type of
when they
thing.
try to like, yeah.
I see fast 16 having this in like the scene where they walk in Florida on like a floating yacht in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of the ocean.
Oh,
That too.
I got one more. By the time you guys hear this recording, Post Malone's new album it would have been out already. So I hope you guys are
Oh.
enjoying it as much as I am gonna be enjoying it.
When does it come out?
So, the 28th on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Probably tomorrow, but the 28th is the set date.
Tomorrow at 9
So
o'clock.
if you guys if you guys have listened to it before you watch our new episode, leave a comment during the weekend and tell me specifically, because Richard doesn't really care for Post Malone like that, and Lee, I don't know how you feel about Post
I'm just
Malone.
here chilling.
Just chilling. He's wiping some shit off of he's shame off his desk, but he's doing something.
What did you
Uh,
spill?
Nothing.
No, he's just cleaning.
I'm cleaning my mouse pad.
Wow.
He's washing the shames off his mouse pad from all his gross search
Dude, the
engines.
ADHD kicked in hardcore, and I was like, "Oh, I have a screen cleaner here, and I had a rag here. Maybe I should try cleaning my mouse pad. I know this isn't obviously gonna work, but it does look cleaner, and that was honestly the goal because mine was looking grimy. Not gonna lie, I haven't washed it since I got
Fake it till you make it, you
I
guys.
swear to God, it's
Yeah.
all I
That's
hear
it
on the
for
fucking
me.
recording is just.
Oh, I don't think so.
You've
Let me
been
see.
smacking the mic. It's
Can you-
Johnson.
If anything, you might hear the spray, but it's not like loud, you know. So
Anyways, I'm done.
oh,
Cool.
I thought right. You got last regards.
That's pretty much it.
I said fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
Like
Big
Lee
to
does.
make it. Got it. And then I'll go because it's Rich's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Do I have any music? Hold up. Let me pull up my Spotify. Like I don't have it on my fucking desktop right here. I'm goofy. Okay, I gotta pause. This is like a song playing. It's tripping me out.
Why did my Netflix open up and a fucking Record of Ragnarok came up? There was some fucking that shit
good-
looked gross.
It's a good
I heard it's
anime.
good. I heard.
Okay, so the first song that I'm into is God Complex by Yuro Nono. YURONONO. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I played it at our little weekend thing. I think I already recommended it to Richard personally, but
What? I don't see it.
God Complex.
By oh, there it is.
by-
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't know why it didn't come up
Yeah.
at first.
got a Japanese or Chinese girl on the cover. I think she's
By who?
Chinese. Yoro Nono.
You
YU
Yeah.
Yuru Nono. Yeah. YURONONO. Yeah. So that one's pretty cool. I like it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Pretty like get high and dance around in your room with the lights, you know, purple and blue. I don't know. It's like a good I don't know, not trance, but like feel like you can get lost at a night
Industrial.
drive with it. Yeah, industrial. So I thought that was pretty cool.
If you like Multadoma, it's like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I recommended this one because I think the last time we did recommendations, I said Super Shy and Vampire. Because then after that, we didn't record the next one. So I think this one's free. It's Air Force One by Odd Eye Circle. I know I recommended Odd Eye Circle before because that was one of the older songs. Funny enough, I had no idea they were going to do a comeback, and they did.
I was like, by Nelly?
No, Air Force One by Odd Eye Circle. This is very good. I like it. It's very like, honestly, it's very gay, and I like it. The dancing, at least, it has a lot of ballroom heavy influencing, especially to the music. So it's cool. K-pop group. And then ooh. Sorry, I just saw what song was next. I was like, yeah, dude, I haven't heard the song in a minute. But I think that's it. If I have played this one, then the other one would be From the Start by Lao Fei. I feel like everybody's heard her. She's great. From the Start. The artist is Lao Fei, Laufey. Beautiful singer, beautiful songstress, great lyricist. She's just awesome. She's really good. I love her music.
Bossa Nova.
She's great. So, as for final
Laffy Taffy started playing, so sorry.
as for final regards, Richard believes in bullying.
Hmm?
Oh, I don't know if my friends are ever gonna watch this, but it was fun hanging out with them. We had a great weekend. It was a lot of fun. Nice catching up with everybody. Goofy photos, good memories. Richard and I bonded unnecessarily. I fucking hate you, Brian. And yeah, I don't want to do it anytime. I don't want to do it again anytime soon because that weekend ran me dry. So, like money wise. So let's do it in like 2 years again. Cool. And that's it for me. Richard, take it away.
Cool. We'll start with music. First song is called Pinky Pinky by Sunset Roller Coaster. There's like Asian characters at the beginning, but yeah, Sunset Roller Coaster is the name of the band, I guess.
Okay, gotcha. I see.
It's a good little punk song.
It's only 2 minutes and 2 seconds long.
Mm-hmm. What's it called? But I like it a lot. It's has a very good like, I don't know, just a
Garage
fun
punk
garage band
band.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And then second song, I played it in the car when we were driving around. It's called Crocodile Tears by Skylar,
Oh.
AC13, and Petey. What's it called? It just reminds me of Super Shy, and I was like, well, that's popular right now. This is actually pretty good too, so why not throw that one out there?
Nice. Yeah, you did play this.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
listen to it. It's a fun track. And yeah, and then as far as like fucking final regards, last remarks, it is hot. Make sure you are staying hydrated. What's it called?
Wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen if you're going out.
It's important.
What's it called?
Take care of your
Please,
tattoos.
please
Take care
be
of your
wary
skin.
of your passengers if you are taking somebody along with you. For example, babies and or pets. I saw a story about some dude that accidentally left his keys and left his daughter inside of the truck. So he had to break the fucking
Oh, thank God.
the shield and shit. Yeah, he noticed luckily, but like, you know, it's just something
Is that the one where
scary.
people went around and helped her out with the
Yeah.
with the fucking iron tire,
Yeah.
with the tire iron?
Mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to people, man.
Yeah, shout out to
Also,
people.
I forget people
it's good
aren't all assholes.
to keep in mind too, like even if you're walking around with them or like the AC's on them, just the sun blaring on their face
Yeah.
also sucks for anybody, even if they have cold air on them. So like keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because dogs can take care of themselves for the most part, but babies can't. And sometimes some dogs can't. So
If
keep
you're,
that in mind.
also, if
Don't be
you're-
so selfish.
if you have to walk your dog, make sure you get them boots or something.
Yeah.
Or
Wait till it's night.
Or wait till it's
Yeah,
night.
change your dog's eating a little bit. Change their time so that it's like more beneficial to them, and get boots. If I have to see another dog
and walk them in the morning.
if I have to
piece
see
of
another
shit.
dog walking around on this hot weather on concrete, I'm just gonna do what I did when we went out that night. I'm just gonna scream at the person again. I swear to God. LA is a messy place, you guys.
LA is very
LA's
messy.
just another dog park.
LA is messy and we're equally just as messy, at least every now and then. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out.
I'm back, Kurt.
What's it? Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, rate the podcast if you're listening to us on Spotify. Share,
Oh, yeah.
and-
Share us with your friends on Spotify, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Share us on Threads.
share us on Threads,
And follow us on
you can
Threads.
follow us all on our socials down at the bottom. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good one. Stay safe, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Like I'm an alien.
True.
Now I'm a bull.
Now you just,
Ew. Ramming it into Richard.
huh?
No, that's like this.
Yeah.
Jesus
Okay, bye.
Christ.
So loose. Oh.